It's pretty open. What would be your ideal for the kitchen?
I would gut the kitchen completely and even open up this wall if it was possible to open that kitchen up. But I know the refrigerator goes right here, so I don't know if that would be a problem.
Yeah, so that's very important what Gabby just said, because people open up walls and forget where the refrigerator is gonna go, right? So no, that's very good that you were thinking about it methodically that way. So you got stove, dishwasher. The problem is you don't have a lot of space. So without really putting the refrigerator somewhere else, you would kind of need that space for the refrigerator. The good news is though, is it's open to the nook, right? So you still got that kind of relationship. And then everything else is pretty open. But yeah, it would be challenging to really to keep a nice sized kitchen and still have somewhere to put the refrigerator in this case. So yeah, you would gut this out. You know, this soffit up here is typically these older homes. What was this, like a 1980s home or something?
60s.
60s?
Yeah.
No kidding. So they got like the wiring and such hid up inside the soffit, but now in the newer homes, you know, they take the cabinets all the way up. So by gutting this out, you'll have that same opportunity. Depending on what kind of market you're in, honestly, these raised panel cabinets aren't like bad. The hardware is a little dated. You could change that out and put new countertops on and new backsplash and almost get away with keeping those cabinets.
Okay.
So, you know, important things to look for. Your mechanicals, which we've already identified, some of which being out there. The hot water tank was shot. The electrical panel, it looked like it had a bunch of breakers as if it was a newer service panel. But I would certainly have it serviced just to make sure that everything is up to code and whatnot. And then the other pieces you want to figure out, you know, what type of shape your furnace is in. So you got a newer style furnace. You know, I would certainly get it serviced as well. So, you know, the roof, your mechanicals, the foundation, in this case, the pool, those are going to be like your highest cost items that you want to quickly do an assessment on, because they could make or break the deal. Which in this case, like I said, you know, changing out the hot water tank is going to cost you, you know, $600. The electrical panel, you know, it may not need anything, so maybe just a little bit of service, and then same is true with this. And then at some point you would look at your central air unit as well, your condenser unit outside, just to make sure it seems to be in good shape.
Okay.
Everything is here. Like I noticed it while we were outside as well. So, so that's a good start. That's a really good start. So from that point, you know, I'm starting to think about from in terms of the magnitude of the rehab, this would be considered cosmetic, right? Even if we took Gabby's cue and we demoed out the entire kitchen, it would still be considered cosmetic.
Okay.
Okay.
As far as some of the water spots on the ceiling, would you just replace that spot of drywall?
That's a really good question, Blake. So just looking at the ceiling, and it's different, y'all from Illinois, so you know, spray texture up north is like frowned upon, whereas down here it's the norm. It's like, you don't got texture on your walls. So I'm indifferent. I still drywall some of my ceilings like just flat down here on the properties. And being that you got water spots, I would really look at, being that this is a cosmetic flip, I mean, you know, when you come in here, you could possibly just re-drywall all the ceilings continuously, starting in here all the way throughout.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, I would look at that because aesthetically it's just gonna look a lot better if you could have like that continuity all throughout.
Okay.
Even on some of these walls, like,
yeah, it's like wood paneling.
Yeah, it is like wood paneling. So I would look at, as opposed to demoing all the walls out, you can go with 1/4-inch drywall right on top of it.
Okay.
And then, you know, it'll give you that nice, smooth, new, because when you got properties this size, this is what, 1,300 square feet?
Yes.
Smaller footprint, clean lines are very, very important. So as much as you can have sharp edges, you know, take out all the baseboards and put in the nice new 3-inch Pro Packs all throughout. You want everything to be nice and fresh and clean, you know? And it's not really gonna change your rehab cost a lot because the heavy lifting stuff, the mechanicals are all in pretty good shape, including the pool as well. So I will make sure I will focus on making it as pretty and pristine as possible.
Okay.
What
do you think about these walls right here? If it would be opened up more, it almost looks like this was an add-on, so this might be structural.
I'm not as concerned, and that's a very good point, right? A lot of people fray away from moving walls because they're load bearing. That's not really a big issue. It's just about supporting, you know, the weight distribution of the property with the proper header. It's gonna cost you probably about $1,000 on average to do that. The rest will be labor just tearing this out. But this is dated, right? So at minimum, you know, I would take those out. And then you could look at opening this up a little bit further. As you can see, you got some electrical in that wall. So, you know, that would have to be moved over a little. But yeah, I don't see a lot of constraints from opening this up a little bit more if you wanted to.